Hi culés! It seems that for the first time during Hansi Flick's tenure at Barça, instability is being felt inside the team. Everyone is talking about the inflated egos of certain players, and fans are almost unanimous in believing that Flick is most displeased with the behavior of Lamine Yamal. The penalty incident, Raphinha and Yamal's new celebration have already gone viral on TikTok and other social media, becoming a real hit. But behind this lies more than just hype on the internet. Today we're going to talk about what's happening inside Barça and whether tensions could build into an explosion that changes everything. Let's begin. As always, I ask each of you to hit the like button under this video. It means the world to me and my team. Thank you. No one really expected this. Hansi Flick has only just started his second season at Barcelona, and after the draw with Rayo Vallecano, he kept the players in the dressing room and gave them a tough talk. And yes, his phrase "ego kills success" spread quickly across Spanish and international media. So let's break it down step by step. In the match against Rayo, Barça were really saved only by Joan García. The new signing from Espanyol made 5 saves, and without him, the team probably would have lost. But for Flick, it wasn't just about the result, it was the moment to hit the brakes. Because he has been unhappy with Barca's performances from the very start. Against Mallorca, the team relaxed in the second half. Against Levante, they collapsed in the first half. And against Rayo, the same issues repeated but multiplied. And for the first time in a long while, someone managed to crack Flick's Barça code. His name, Inigo Perez. What he did with Easy Palazón and his movement on the pitch became the first real example of a plan that made Barça suffer. The offside trap stopped working flawlessly, and for the first time, Flick's chaos without the ball looked helpless. The stats are alarming. In 3 games, Barça allowed their opponents to create 12 big chances. That's the worst figure in La Liga. By comparison, Real Madrid have conceded just 1. Last season, Barcelona only reached that number after 6 matches. And this isn't just about defense or the loss of Inigo Martinez, who left for Al Nassr. Flick's system works only when everyone presses, when the forwards also work hard. And that hasn't been happening, so Flick couldn't hold back. He locked the team in the dressing room after the match for 25 minutes and spoke harsher than he did at the press conference. His message was simple: when the window is closed, no excuses. Everyone who stayed must be 100% committed to the club. Of course, such criticism exploded both in the dressing room and in the media. At Barça, this is always a painful subject. And Torna, as Cruyff called it. When the team stumbles, the Catalan press dissects every word, and now during the international break, everything revolves around this. And it seems this was exactly what Flick wanted, for his words to hang over the players for 2 weeks. So they returned from national duty thinking, we need to prove the coach wrong. And the reactions already came. Pedri in an interview said, "I don't know who he meant, we'll have to ask him. Last season we worked as one, not chasing individual glory." Lamine Yamal added, "I don't think the problem is ego, we just didn't start the season with the same intensity we ended the last one. Yes, we made too many mistakes, but that happens." Dani Olmo added, "We may play better or worse, but the goal is always the same, the team." So we see 2 poles. The coach firmly demands discipline, and the players try to explain that the issue is not egoism, but form and intensity. But the fact remains, Flick has taken the strongest Barca squad in recent years, where every other player is a Ballon d'Or candidate, and now his main task is to keep everything under control. The biggest concern for Barca fans is of course Lamine Yamal, and there are several reasons for that. In Spanish media and social networks, the Rayo Vallecano episode has gone viral for days. Barca's new number 10 himself approached Raphinha, asked to take the penalty, this is clearly visible in the video, got the ball, coolly converted the shot, and then celebrated in his new crown celebration, pulling an invisible crown onto his head. But all eyes weren't just on Yamal. The cameras caught Raphinha's face during the celebration. The Brazilian's look was conflicted. And this exact moment blew up TikTok, X, and other social media. Fans argue, what was that? A man who calls himself king is no king, probably the most popular comment I've seen regarding Yamal's new celebration. But maybe it's just the magic hat, as Luis de la Fuente said. Everyone sees it in their own way. Many supporters, even among the culés, directly tied this to Flick's phrase "ego kills success," because indeed, Lamine increasingly takes matters into his own hands. Bold and dazzling attack, but too often neglecting defensive work. And now the penalty story with the crown celebration only amplified the feeling. Was Flick actually talking about Yamal? Especially since Lamine clearly disagreed with the German coach's words while away with Spain. Madrid outlet Marca highlights that Hans Dieter has created tension in the squad and that the situation must be resolved. Flick hinted that some players are thinking more about themselves than about the team. Inside the dressing room, and this hit hard, the players believe they are fully committed and don't understand who exactly the coach was referring to. All this has created tension, confusion, and even some frustration within the squad. But Flick isn't closing the door. He says it's always open, and he's ready to explain what exactly is worrying him. So what was Flick's real plan? I will try to explain why the coach staged this whole thing. For some, it may look like a problem, a sign that negativity could linger or even grow. But on the other hand, considering a few days have passed and debates are still raging in Barcelona's media, there are people close to the dressing room who believe Flick did this intentionally. He used the international break to make sure his message reached the leaders of the team. Clearly, that's who he was talking about. It could be Lamine Yamal or Raphinha. There's a strong chance it was Fermin Lopez and his transfer saga with Chelsea. Maybe it was Pau Cubarsí, who wasn't even in the starting lineup last match. Or Jules Koundé, Ronald Araujo, others. Everyone except Pedri, Eric, Joan García, and Christensen, if you listen to Flick's hints. The Barca coaching staff knew the bitter taste after Sunday's weak performance would linger for weeks. Their view was maybe sending players off to national teams with a strong message would at least help, forcing them to think, analyze mistakes, and come back wanting to prove something. If you want to send such a message to players, now is the moment to make them reflect on it deeper than when the team plays every 3 days. This was the logic inside Barca staff as they assess the team's mediocre start, in a season when they are aiming to win the Champions League. But here is the key. This could be Flick's mind games. He didn't name names, he didn't point fingers. Now everyone in the dressing room is thinking, maybe he meant me. Everyone starts analyzing their actions, mistakes, and commitment, and voila, there's the master plan. Collective self-criticism and full focus on the job. Checkmate. And here's one crucial detail. Flick has already gone through something similar at Bayern. After the successful 2019-2020 season, his team also faced a drop in motivation, and Hansi learned from it. He realized that even the strongest squad can lose focus after great victories. That's why today he acts firmly. His task is to keep the team sharp, fuel their hunger for battle, and push for improvement both individually and collectively. He knows what he's doing, because he's already seen how dangerous it is to relax after triumph. When he coached Barcelona, the legendary Johan Cruyff often said, "There is no tougher time in a managerial project than the second season at the club." The Dutchman considered this period especially difficult as the pressure and expectations are greater than in the honeymoon debut campaign, while at the same time risk of squad renewal arise. Flick's Barca is exactly at this stage now. And if we stay a bit longer with past coaches, today's situation resembles a fast-tracked version of Frank Rijkaard's Barca, a team also overseen at the board level by Laporta. When Rijkaard took over in 2003, his debut season was successful. Barca improved significantly and finished second in La Liga behind Valencia, a step up from 6th under Louis van Gaal. The next year, strengthened by Samuel Eto'o and Deco, the team looked ready to take the domestic crown, and indeed won the league and the Copa del Rey. The evolution continued, and in 2005-2006, Barca won the Champions League, defeating Arsenal in the final. But then came a dramatic decline and collapse of the squad, saved only by the season. What do you think about this massive topic? Write your thoughts in the comments. Smash the like button if you want the team to step up after the international break and regain last season's confidence. And to stay up to date with all the latest Barca news, I recommend subscribing to our news channel. The link to the video and the channel is right in front of you. And it's time to say goodbye. See you soon.